Right, so today I am back with another YouTube video, and today's video is going to be about what happens when you go counselling for the first time. And I'm doing this video because one person messaged me a couple of days ago saying that they're going counselling in a couple of weeks time and they're really nervous and scared, and because they know I go counselling, they want me to talk through like what happens when you go for the first time. So I'm going to do that. Now before I start, I would just like to say I have got a book what is officially for YouTube planning, so if you have any ideas of any YouTube videos what you want me to film, then please comment down below and I'll put them in here. And make sure if it's a personal video and you don't want to comment down below, then message me on any of social media, and if I get the message I will answer straight away or as soon as possible. So like I said, this video is going to be about what happens when you go to counselling for the first time. Now before I actually go through about what happens, I want to say what counselling I go to and what mine is like. Now the counselling what I go to is one called CAMS, and it is, let me see what it stands for because I have actually got the card here. This was my first ever appointment card for CAMS. As you can tell, it's a bit old and weared out, but I don't know why I've kept it. I think it's just because I've got all like the numbers on the back. Now CAMS stands for Specialist Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services, and it's really good. And when you do, well, because I got referred from hospital to CAMS, I got one of these cards with my name and then my CAMS worker and CAMS worker telephone, and then like my name, follow-up appointment, coping strategies and everything like that inside. So if you do get transferred from hospital and you go to CAMS, then this is probably what you would get. So my counselling, like I said, is really good. I find it really helpful because the people in there, they're really nice and understanding, and you know that you can tell them everything. And I have had a couple, well not a couple, I've had one counsellor what I didn't really get along with, but I think everyone's gonna have someone what they don't get along with, what like some point in their lives, and for me it was when I went counselling. And it's just, I don't know why I didn't get along with her. Like, I've only ever had female counsellors. I don't know why I didn't get along with her, because I just don't know. But do you know when sometimes you just feel like you don't get along with that person and you don't think that you can trust them? And that's fine. If you don't get along with them, then you don't get along with them. And if you don't, then just ask to be transferred to a different one. Like me, I was lucky because when the person I didn't get along with, she thought that I didn't need CAMS because I had loads of other support already, so I actually got dropped back, so I didn't see her anymore. But then when I got transferred to hospital a couple of times, they put me back on it because they thought that I needed this counselling service. And then obviously I had this worker, and then now I've got a different worker who is really nice. So what happens first? So obviously you'll make your own way down there. I always get the bus down there because that's the only transport we can do, because none of my family drive. So yeah, me and my mum and my brothers, if they're off school or something like that, we always go down there on the bus. And when you get there, obviously you'll get to the front desk and they'll ask you to sign in. They'll ask you your name and who you're here to see. So after you've like said your name and who you're here to see, then you take a seat and they let your counsellor know that you're here, and obviously when your time appointment is, then you obviously will get seen. Now I always like to leave my house an hour before my appointment is, so I know I can get there in enough time. I know I can get there in enough time, because for me, if it's something important like this, I hate being late for things. So if it's like an important thing, then I would like want to have not too much time, so because I don't want to sit there for an hour, but I want to have enough time that I can get there on time. So I leave an hour early because I go on the bus. But say if you're in the car, just think about what time your counselling appointment is, and then if it's in the morning, then will there be that much traffic? Will you have to leave half an hour early or an hour early? It depends how far your house is from counselling as well. But I would suggest to leave an hour early if you're going on the bus, because that means that it's quite a far way away. So, what happened? I've just done that one. Do your parents have to come in with you? Now, this depends on what counselling service you go to, but with CAMS, when I went in the first time with like my first counsellor, my mum had to come with me. Well, this was with all my counsellors. My mum came in with me first for like the first half of it, and then they ask you if you want your mum to stay in while they talk to you, or do you want your mum to go out the room. Now for me, I find it more better to talk more freely when my mum's not in the room, because I just don't want to make my mum upset, and some of the things what I talk about I know are going to make her upset. So I asked if my mum could stand, well not stand outside, but sit in the waiting room, and then obviously they let her sit in the waiting room. My mum was fine with it anyway. So I spoke to the counsellor on my own after, like for half the session, then my mum was in for half the session so that I could get all my details. So what happens in the middle of your counselling session? So in the middle bit, I'm talking about what happens when your mum is not in there, if you decided not to have your mum in. So they'll probably ask you all different kinds of questions, like how are you today, and I can't remember what other questions they asked for the first time, but they will just ask like how you've been and what your goals are and how comfortable you feel like going to counselling, and do you think it's going to help. And normally the counsellors are really nice. Like some of them I don't know, because like I've said, I have had one what I don't really like, but the one what I've got now, she's really nice, and she doesn't use it, well she doesn't use it, she never like think of I don't want to answer a question, and I think she kind of gets that it makes me feel uncomfortable, so she asks another question, because if I don't want to answer it then I go all quiet and all shy. So I think the best thing to do, if you don't want to answer a question, try and say to them, this is making me feel uncomfortable. But if you don't, then sit there in silence for a bit, and if hopefully they will get to the point where they will understand that it's making you feel uncomfortable. Or if you think that you don't want to sit there in silence, then you maybe have to consider your mum going in there with you so she can talk over. Because I know when I'm in the doctors, like this is not counsellor related, but when I'm in the doctors, like obviously because my parents have to come in, then when my mum comes in, I don't like speaking to the doctors, because I don't know, I just find it really uncomfortable. So my mum normally talks everything to the doctors, and she knows when obviously I can't answer a question. So what happens at the end of a counselling session? So at the end, when your counselling session is finished, you would normally get an appointment for your next like counselling session. And as I said, if you have CAMS, then you'll probably get one of these. Now I'm not sure what it's like in other parts of the world, but like in England, the bit where I'm in, you'd get one of these, and it would tell you when your next appointment is, and like who you're going to see, and any strategies you've like had to do in the time where you're not there. Now I normally see my counsellor every 2 weeks, so it's like 1 week I'll see her, 1 week I'll not, and I think that's good. But like in the school holidays, I'm not sure if she's seen me every week, because in school I have other people to talk to, and like obviously when I'm not at school I'll only have my mum, and that's how I don't have as much people as I would normally do. So now that's all of the things what happen when you go for your first time going counselling. Now a couple more things before I end this video. I just want to say today I did something really good, and really something what I wanted to do for ages, and I know not all of you are going to like this, because not all of you like the person who I'm going to say, but I feel like most of you will, because she is a big thing on YouTube. So you probably all guessed that it's about Zoella. And I made a Zoella fan page on Instagram, and it is called Zoellafanpagebethanyboerder. And I know that is quite a big one, but I feel like there's a load of Zoella fan pages out there, so I would like to obviously put that out there that it's from me. And so if you guys want to follow me in that, which I really want, I'd really hope that you could, then it's Zoellafanpagebethanyboerder. I don't know if I can link it down below, but I'll put it in this description box, my Instagram name for Zoella fan page, and obviously you already know my normal Instagram name. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below if you've had a counselling experience or you know anyone who has had a counselling experience. And make sure to subscribe if you're new, because I have got 72 subscribers right now. Well, that's when I last checked, and I'd really like to get to 100 subscribers, and if I do, I'll be doing a giveaway. So yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!